Vamos, put up your manos. Now is the time to unite all Chicanos, Latinos, and los Estados Unidos. Don't care if you're Ricans or even Cubanos. Look at our coaches. We have more common, don't let them divide. These suckers are vultures. Either we standing together or better be standing aside. Now is the time, don't know about you, but I'm gonna ride. We gotta climb, fight for your veins, man, where was your pride? Where were the gunners that you got inside? Look how our ancestors came to this country. They tried to be living the American dream. Don't throw it away. They promise you money and got your agent for the machine. Pick a new team, you flesh socialism, but that is a system that you wanna bring. You need to think, we gotta fight communism, cause it look like we on the brink. Connect all the links, so one party system is taking the power from all of the people. We need to think, when will you listen, these people are evil and want you to sequel, so what is your plan? Hand in hand, we're standing together, cause it's the one never to do what you can. Please understand, we gotta do better, so walkers remember that we took a stand. Escúchame, 24 es el año, si se puede. Lucha, lucha por la libertad. Órale, vamos.
Yo, what's up, man?
How's it going, Daniel? What's going
Good.
on?
Nothing much, man. I don't even know what episode we're on. I think it's 83. Episode 83. Shit.
83 is a good number. Better than 82.
Yeah, right? Almost about to hit 100. Shit. How's your day?
Oh, man, it was good, man. Traffic is up. It's a little bit of traffic talk right on the beginning of the podcast. Traffic talk.
Where do you live again?
Oh, man. Only the best place ever, dude. The Bay Area.
Damn. How's your boy doing? Got shot out there.
Oh, man. He got shot in San Francisco, dude. That's not the Bay Area. That's San Francisco.
Good point. Yeah. I think, what do you call it? They don't allow carry out there, right? Something like that?
Absolutely not, Daniel. And I hate to get deep on you, but supposedly Ricky shot him back.
Well, that's what I've seen, that they were struggling for the gun, and the other dude got shot. So interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
In the chest.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
You would imagine that the 49ers would flip out a little bit more, you know?
Oh no.
He got drafted pretty freaking high, dude. Pretty high.
Yeah, dude. I think if anything, they'd probably, it'd be disappointing. They'd probably be all anti-gun and all that. It wouldn't be, oh man, maybe our players, should be able to carry.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but
You'd imagine.
But yeah, man. We were off last week. We didn't do a show last week. I was sick like most of the week. So that kind of what do you call it? Made it kind of tough. Yo, there he is.
Danny.
Hey, how's it going? Long time no speak.
I know, dude. Damn. Welcome our guest, Danny. Whoa. How you doing, man?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good. Just we were just talking about one of the guys I was on the news. One guy from the Niners got shot in San Francisco.
San Francisco?
Yeah. So we were just kind of talking about Christian's hometown, San Francisco.
What are the details?
Yeah, right. You're the
about
mayor of San Francisco. Who are you talking to?
No, well, supposedly he was, I think he was getting robbed, right? I saw it was like a 17-year-old from Tracy or something like that.
Oh, wow.
See,
And it seems like they struggled for the gun, and somehow they both got shot. So,
Oh, wow.
so yeah,
No,
I think it went
the
Well-
through
other
his chest.
kicker. The other kicker was that guy. I think he was 17-year-old, right? He shot Ricky Pearsall, and then it turns out he's a norteño from Tracy. He had just gotten caught with a gun 3 days prior, and got released. So
So if he would have owned that firearm legally, was it illegal? Was it? the firearm? No
I don't
details about
know.
that.
He's 17, right? So it can't be legal, right?
They
Yeah,
shouldn't have it.
and I guess that's the point that I was trying to make is that if he would have owned it legally, then he would have been in trouble. It's like
Hmm.
they just let the criminals go. That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. It's makes no
Make it
sense,
make
right?
sense.
It,
Make it make sense.
exactly. Well,
Should change the podcast to make it make sense.
Make it make
new
sense.
podcast coming soon. No, man, but that should like it's examples of things happening that kind of go against their narrative, right? And I was telling Christian, it's like if anything, they'll probably just double down and come down again on like, oh, we need stricter gun laws. You know what I mean? Instead of just
Mhm,
saying like, oh, maybe law-abiding citizens should be able to carry with no issues.
mhm.
But
Brother, when I go apply for my concealed carry over here, I'm just gonna put Venezuelan. See what's up. See how far that gets me.
You're gonna get a
I
green
think
light.
I think
yeah,
Do
they'll let
whatever
me
you
slide.
want.
And then give
yeah,
me a map of all the good apartments to take over.
damn,
So what is going on over there? I All I heard is that Venezuelan gangs took over two apartment complexes and robbed some stores and a bank.
yeah. It's
What,
oh,
what's
what
the
is
deal
their
with that?
name? Venezuelan. Um, I forget the name of that gang, but supposedly from what I've seen is yeah, they've taken over some apartment complexes, and then I seen videos of like it looked like outside a shopping center, and it was just like all trashed. Supposedly they were attributing it to that, but yeah, they're just running wild. I mean, it's Colorado is super super liberal now. Um, I'm trying to see if I can find the
Well,
name of
there's
that
also
gang.
people saying that it's fake, so I don't even know. It could just be my brother's mis- mistaken identity with just some Mexican guys. You never know.
Yeah, what's their name? Do you
But
Well,
remember their name?
I do not
well,
know. But I do know they're carrying long rifles.
but I haven't heard it in mainstream media. So I heard it through social media.
Hmm.
So if it was in mainstream media, I know it would be a lie.
Yeah,
So
and then
Right.
tren de Aragua, tren de Aragua,
Something gay.
something like that. Um, but yeah, that's the thing. I'm only seeing it on social media, so that kind of one of the things where it's like it makes you believe it more, right? Because why would mainstream media right now, who's going hard for Kamala, who's the border
Pause.
czar, um, they don't want these kind of stories out there.
mm-mm.
So they're gonna suppress this kind of stuff. They're gonna act like it's not happening. But from what I'm seeing, it was in Colorado, and I saw another one, but I forget what city. And yeah, like Christian said, they got rifles.
Well, Chicago, I think.
Oh,
I
Chicago,
think they said,
Chicago.
was it
Yeah.
Chicago?
Yep.
That's
So,
crazy, man.
so
You'd imagine they put up a fight over there. They got a couple dudes with switches out there that could take care of their own.
no, yeah, yeah. So
Chief
that's
Keef, we're calling you out. Do something about the Venezuelans.
And what's the deal with the Hell's Angels? Is it true that they were gonna roll out there and take care of business because the police aren't enforcing the laws, or what?
I saw that too, but then I saw someone else post that no, that they weren't gonna go. That wasn't real. So
No,
I don't think they ended up going. But I mean, someone should, right? I mean, it's crazy, dude. It's like Trump has been saying, you know, they don't send their best.
They don't.
that's on purpose, though. It's like,
Oh
do
yeah,
you think that cops don't want to go out there and enforce the law? It's like, to me, they're getting orders from their superiors not to go in there. As a matter of fact, on my way from work here, I saw a video. Well, I was listening to some YouTube video, and they were saying that the cops were saying in the video that they wanted to enforce the law and they wanted to arrest, these people causing a disturbance, but it's a sanctuary city,
Mm.
where they were at, so they couldn't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you have the people in place, you have the structure, to enforce the law, but their hands are tied. They're handcuffed with their own handcuffs, and can't do anything about it. So remember what I was telling you guys is when this type of stuff is happening, is like we have to go down to the root cause of what is causing the issue. So
Mm-hmm.
we could say all kinds of different things, but the bottom line is, where are the orders coming in not to enforce the law? And that's where we have to focus. Same thing there. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, why are we going to get mad at, you know, let's say, for example, the border, right? So if something's happening in Colorado, and in Colorado, they're not enforcing the law, let's find out why.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why the election was 2 months away is so important locally, right? Because if we were talking about San Francisco at the beginning, it's like California ain't any better than Colorado as far as enforcement and stuff like that. So what's gonna stop
Well,
them from doing that in San Francisco?
yeah, San Francisco, Oakland, you name it. Um, the they got a free pass right now. All the criminals have a free pass to do whatever the hell they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gavin Newsom will tell you, "Hey, crime's at a historic low." Yeah, because you're not arresting anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a game that they're trying to play, and we got to be smarter.
Yeah, for sure. It's but that's kind of what I've seen on that. It's like the whole Venezuelan gangs and all that. So um, you know, someone's they're I think stuff like that they're gonna try it wherever they can, but I mean there's gonna be people that aren't gonna put up with it. You know what I mean? Like yeah, let's say you do try that next to some Hell's Angels or some whoever other gang you want to talk about. You know, it might not be a good idea.
Yeah, that's crazy though, man. Because someone was put a comment out there is that MS-13, that's another kind of serious, is people that just want to live their lives and go to work,
Mm-hmm.
have their kids go to school and just pay their bills and live life. They're at a different level of morality. And these people, I mean, we've seen some crazy ass videos where they're doing some unthinkable things.
Mm-hmm.
It, how are we supposed to deal with that in society? It's like that's what makes like these politicians or whoever is responsible for this chaos so evil, man.
Mm-hmm.
Is they're the real gangsters right there. God damn. If you start really thinking about it, mm.
Yeah, it's it's wild. What do you think, Christian?
No, I want to know how much, what is too much enforcement and what's not enough, right? Because in California, obviously there's not enough, but what are people getting arrested in Texas for? Or what are people not getting arrested for in Baltimore? What's in the middle? Because I don't like the idea of, uh, just the police being too strong, but it's yeah, I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm in the
Well, I could
middle of
definitely tell you that it's not enough right now. I'll tell you that
not
right
enough
now.
in California, right?
Well,
Yeah,
Chicago, New York,
yeah.
well, how can people just beat up cops on the streets and not
Mm.
do anything about it
Mm-hmm.
and let them free?
Well, what
Yeah.
were the cops wearing?
No, it's like what we talked about before, right? It's that moral compass that some people have and just some people don't have, right? Um, some people got just in the wrong. I don't even know. Are they in the wrong type of lifestyle, wrong type of, you know what I mean? Like maybe that's what they were raised in. That's what they know, and that's what they are. You know, it's
Yeah, I mean, let's think about that. If people aren't worried about consequences, oh, here's a good example. I went to uh, a meeting here at Lodi, and in that meeting, there was a bunch of people that were running for local positions, right? Local
mhm,
office, right? And they were talking about the homeless. Okay, so the homeless in the past have not been very aggressive because they respected certain spaces, like they wouldn't, during business hours they wouldn't go around businesses and stuff like that. They would kind of like stay away, and then at night when businesses closed, they would make up their little um, shelters and stuff like that, spend the night there, pick up and go. So now that they've seen that law enforcement, and they did that because they were afraid that they were going to get arrested, right?
mhm,
So now that they found out that they won't get arrested for that, they get a little bit more aggressive. Now they're showing up around business hours,
Getting
right?
aggressive. Hell yeah.
And then they're like, they're getting asked to leave, and they're like, they call the cops. The cops can't do anything about it. They get a little bit more, you know, uh, pumped up. Their chest puffs out a little bit more. So they're
mhm,
being. The point is that they're being a lot more aggressive right now because the law is not being enforced. So you do the same thing. And, saw a video about Oakland. This poor lady was like counting the times that her car got broken into. I think it was like over 10 times in like a 6 month period and stuff like that. And it's
wow,
like, it, it's in levels, right? I just gave you an example about homeless people. Now let's start talking about, you know, people that shoplift. They start getting, we've seen the videos. They got a lot more brave and, broad daylight. They just are grabbing shit and they're taking off instead of doing it, sleight of hand. Hey, someone distracts them over here, and I steal something over here, and everything's just gotten heightened. Then you start going into like higher level type of criminals, more violent criminals. If they were, a little violent, they're a lot more violent. And if they were like really violent criminals, now they've taken it to another level.
mhm,
And that's kind of like what I'm referring to is you don't enforce law, it's just gonna make everything worse. Everything.
yeah,
Everything. And we're suffering, and we're the ones suffering. We're the ones that pay for it with our tax money, and we're the ones suffering. Make it make sense. And anybody could put a political spin on it, and they can do the Marxist thing and start, you know, um, pinning people against people, races against people, a class against another class. You could go ahead and do it, but it ain't gonna make sense.
mhm,
And that's why I'm saying make it make sense, because you can't just do your damn job. Someone breaks the law, enforce the damn law. It's
mhm,
actually pretty damn simple, if you ask me.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we just got to get. It's like going back to basics, right?
1 plus 1 is 2.
Yeah, yeah.
For
It's
me, I think until they get that border thing, you know, locked down. I mean, whatever first world rules we make over here, they're not going to matter to the people coming in, and that's just it's a thin line that we all agree as a society to follow these maybe unspoken rules, right? Wait at the crosswalk, wait till it's green. Uh,
But
these little things
that's
that
a
that
law
seem that don't
too.
matter.
That's
Yeah,
jaywalking.
right, right.
mhm,
And it's like you see these people in packs walking around, man, like they don't care, and it's not about it's like what can happen to them. They can cause an issue, and it's just it's almost like they don't know better. you know, because they don't have these type of rules or, you know, laws or things that keep you safe um, in their country. If you know what I'm saying. I hate to throw it on my my immigrant brothers, but damn, man, we gotta, like you
No,
said,
I've
we
been
gotta
I've
follow
been
the rules.
to pretty rough small towns in Mexico, and um,
They do a
everybody's
better job.
pretty everybody's pretty orderly, for the most part over there. You do have
Mhm.
some crazy shit happening, like not paying attention, or not listening to traffic signals and stuff like that. But I mean, there's some crazy stuff. But we're talking about criminals here. It's not like a teenager that is trying to go to work and jaywalks or doesn't care and just does it. This is some pretty criminal stuff that's happening right here.
Mm-hmm. Got a
Yeah.
question. Are you guys cops?
Nope,
I'm a
That's what I'm
fed.
saying.
No, but I
Are
mean,
they
I mean,
are they hiring?
they actually are.
yeah. I saw one. It said like $10,000 hiring bonus or something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But
they're gonna put you in
you know,
Oakland,
shit, you gotta
surrounded by a bunch of Haitians.
sign up for a job where you can't even do your own job. So you know,
That's tough.
who wants that, right?
No, I think they even came out, the Berkeley police, or is it Oakland, where that mayor, they're asking her to step down. Like they all came out together because they've been under forced, under, you know, everything. Fund them, I guess. You know, but yeah, I mean, it all stems from somewhere, right?
Yeah. Hey, but going to the positive side, because then I see comments that the world's a shithole, and you can't see it, getting right. I mean, God's at work too. So,
Yeah.
like I told you guys at the same time, is that let these people keep standing up and showing us who you are. I'm not gonna get tired of saying that until um, something happens. Because okay, so let's talk about Trump. He's hooking up with RFK,
Mm-hmm.
um, Tulsi Gabbard, and stuff like that.
Elon.
Elon. So there's all kinds of connections being made. Look, it seems, well, Zuckerberg is feeling the heat now that
Mm-hmm.
Trump is going to have over 100 million, 150 million votes with the popularity that he has, um, despising. Well, let's not listen to the fake polls that show that Kamala is ahead. So despite those polls, you know, he's gonna be a winner. So he sees the writing on the wall, and he threw everybody under the bus. How people are not arrested after he said what he said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's and the reason that that's happening is because of his popularity. They see the writing on the wall, and everybody knows that everything is messed up. We've talked about how the left doesn't even have a game plan anymore, you know, um, and everything's going to shit. You name it, the economy, the border, um, the wars, it just everything,
Mm-hmm.
everything. So now it's easy for everybody to go, hey, you know what? It's really messed up over there now. So I think we have to unite now. We're kind of
Mm-hmm.
forced to unite.
Mm-hmm.
And, they tell us that we're supposed to be enemies, but, clearly, we're all suffering. So why don't we get together and do something about it? And that's only happening because they're being so obvious with what their agenda is.
Mm-hmm.
That, that's my take.
Yeah. No, and I think it's at least it has that appearance where they're putting the country over the party or the people over the party. Um, and Trump's willing to work with those people, and they're willing to work with him, right? Likewise, because it has it's gotten out of hand, right? With this current administration, what's going on, um, you know, it just it's good to see. you know, I like you said, I view that as a positive that they're able to kind of work together, right? I know they probably don't agree on everything, and
But
you
you
know,
know what the beautiful thing is? Like RFK,
hmm
and I think even Tulsi said this, is that we don't agree on everything, but we are aligned on key issues.
hmm that's that's
That's
the
the
key.
key.
That's the key. Yeah.
That's the key right there.
hmm Yeah. I know, and we talked
Well,
about it before. Not throwing everything out just because you don't agree with everything. It's like there's certain things that, all right, we 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 can roll with this much. You know, everything else is like, you gotta. I don't know how the correct term would be, but like it's like kind of saying choose your battles, right? You gotta be smart about your decision making, because just because you don't agree on everything doesn't mean like, okay, no, we can't work together. Or we can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
well, it makes me think about what another thing that they have in common, right? The ragtag of those four, right? We're talking about Elon Musk, Trump, Tulsi, and RFK, right? They're all longtime Democrats, so it makes me wonder what would it take, for one day that the Democrats get four Republicans with their type of success, to switch on over and go, we were on the other side and now we're with the Democrats because we see that you guys are, keeping democracy safe. I don't know when that would happen or if it would, happen at all.
Well, and this is dating myself, but look, I kind of saw that happening. That was happening right after George Bush, right before Obama came in. They were talking about the Republican Party just being destroyed after his um, terms, the two terms that he had. And I remember there was really no good candidates that they had over on their side. They didn't have any
mm-mm,
young, younger politicians, up and coming. They didn't have a plan, right? Um, and I think it goes in stages. And as you got to understand that they have teams of people that are trying to figure out what the next move is, what the next step is, and it. I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't worry, they'll come up with something where if it goes back to the uniparty, because believe me, it was a uniparty,
mm-hmm,
and there is still a uniparty out there, and they're pissed off that these politicians, it seems as if they're not following in line. So you look at all of um, the Republicans' assistants or staffers that are endorsing Kamala, right?
mm-hmm,
That should be a signal to everybody that's the uniparty at work. And that's one of the things that got me hit to Trump, is that there was so many people against him on both sides that I'm like, man, he broke up that uniparty. He made them both stand up. Here we go talking about, go ahead, stand up and show me who you really are.
mm-hmm.
They stood up and showed us, everybody showed up, showed everybody exactly who they were. So
Yeah.
with the amount of hate that, look, RFKs, it's a political family. I mean, it's like a dynasty, right? I don't know
Mm-hmm,
how many generations. I think it's like three generations.
mm-hmm.
And his family members are speaking up against him.
Oh, I saw
His
that.
family members are endorsing Harris and stuff like that. So it's
Mm-hmm,
not like, he's going along with the party or the uniparty or the grain, whatever example you want to use. These people are going against the grain.
mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
No, and I don't know if you guys noticed this, but no balls, all balls, walls, Tim Walls. Uh, his brother's coming out against him, saying that he's got a couple stories and he doesn't think he'd be a good vice president and stuff. But that's when it doesn't matter, right? You got the whole Kennedy family turning against the guy, RFK. But when it comes down to all balls, walls, brother, It just doesn't matter anymore.
Mm. Yeah, no, I did see that. I didn't look into it, but I saw that. Yeah, his brother was saying probably not the best choice, which is, it's your brother, so that's gotta,
No,
you know what I mean?
no. This
I,
guy was stealing valor.
yeah, the the whole, you know what you said that the Republicans didn't have a plan back then. Um, it's like it's funny how we talked about, I don't even know, probably towards the beginning of doing the podcast or at some point last year, how we were talking about the Democrats and what kind of plan they were gonna have for this
Mm,
election cycle.
yeah.
And remember, we were like, they have no plan. Like we couldn't think of anything. And it's funny when now you know how they kind of showed the clips of Kamala basically saying the same policies that Trump is running on, and there's been a
Uh,
few. So it's like, it's funny. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, oh, next time we talk, I'm gonna bring it up because yeah, we were talking about, and we were sincerely trying to think of like, all right, what would be their plan, and they didn't have one, and that's what we're it's exactly what we're seeing. It's to me it's funny, but it's not shocking.
no, I think it's expected. Is
Yeah.
look, think about this. Let's say that we were Democrats, right? And we voted for Joe Biden to be the uh, presidential nominee, right?
Hmm.
And then out of nowhere, he gets yanked, right? And they put someone else in his spot, which is exactly what happened, right?
Hmm.
How would you feel if that happened and we didn't vote for her and they just put her in that spot?
Hmm. Well, that's you have people like what's her stupid name? Joy Reid, the
Yeah.
MSNBC lady. Like
Hmm.
she made a video that was like, basically what you said. Like, no, that's not true. People did vote for her because when they're voting for Biden, it's like they're voting. You're assuming that it's for Kamala in case Biden wouldn't be able to run. But it's like, no, lady, you're fucking gaslighting, and that's not what happened.
We're not
She
voting
was
for vice president
We're
here. We're
not.
voting for president.
Nope. And her name was
Well,
not on
well,
the ballot.
well, that's what makes me think there was a plan. The whole timing with that, the whole timing where they know they tried COVID, right? They saw how easy it was for their sheep to bow down and follow and listen to what they say, even though they heard and saw different, right? So they knew they can, overwhelm their own followers, even though if they said, they said it a bunch of times. She's as sharp as a tack, right? They did it perfectly, so it just not enough questions or not enough alarms are raised, you know.
Hmm.
Right, yeah, right there, So it's there's a plan. Those guys are everybody's playing 3D chess, I think.
Yeah, well, maybe that was the plan, is that they were going to swap them out this entire time.
Hmm.
And there are conspiracy theories that have to go, well, they kind of go like this, is that they were going to switch them up, and that's been years, probably even before Biden was president.
Hmm.
I can't remember, but anyways, it's been pretty much over 3 years since they were talking about, that there was going to be a switch up. So Christian, maybe you're right. Maybe that is the game plan. They know that people weren't going to do anything about it. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that there's this lady nominated to be the to be the representative for the Democrats to run
Yep.
for president, and you guys didn't vote for her, and you
That's
guys
crazy.
aren't pissed off, aren't questioning the system. This is not normal. Just in case you didn't
No,
know.
and that's the thing too. It's like that's the for recent history, the ones that have been the loudest on we got to defend democracy have been the Democrats, and
That sounds like a
What happened
coup
there?
just took over on the Democratic Party. That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
Straight.
And what happened there? What happened to democracy there? Like exactly what you're saying. The lady with zero votes, the lady that in 2020 when she was running got zero delegates, zero support. She was the first one to drop out because she's so unpopular. You tell me that lady all of a sudden gets installed and gets all the delegates, no problem.
And she's just tasked
I
with
mean,
having, like how many days she got the delegate support. I think it was like a weekend.
a week, yeah, something like
It
that.
went great. She did a great job. She got the delegates support. Okay.
Yeah,
So I think all it took was a speech from a prompt, you know, for her to tell
It,
Trump,
it,
"Say it in my face." Did you hear? Did you hear her recently
you
talking in
better,
no.
Detroit? Oh,
you
you
better
better
think.
for the. Oh my goodness, man. Hey, but I'm guilty. I've done it. I've got black friends. I've gone in their house and I've done that before. Guilty. It just happens. It just happens. I don't know. You
You
do it.
better smash
You do
that
it.
like
Go,
button.
go.
You better smash
Yeah.
subscribe.
You better like that button. Shit.
Dude, that shit
uh,
was crazy.
That's why.
You
That's why I'm
better.
not too mad. Shit. You start looking around and you see everybody just ooh. Yeah, man. All the words abbreviated on the
But
on
it's
the poster.
it's all pandering, right?
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty nuts. There's so much that has happened. It's pretty crazy.
I would want to see Kamala talking to one of these, a real person in the union wearing a hard hat. What would they say to her if they chewed up Trump? I mean, not Trump, but they chewed up Biden
So,
that one time when he said, "You're a sucker."
Hmm.
She said, "You're a sucker."
and
Something
he
like
goes,
that.
"Listen, pal."
Yeah. Oh man.
You lying face pony soldier. What do you say that one time?
Yeah. Yeah. You blind. Yeah, man. I don't know.
No,
It's
dude. But on the positive side, like we've said, all along, is there's no. I personally don't see any way Trump loses at all, and I think that everything that they've
what?
done from from this whole administration, this whole election cycle till now, I mean, I think kind of goes to what Danny's been saying. It's like they just showing who they are, and people are seeing it, and reality.
Well,
You
I
can't, you know, can't fake that.
yeah, I can attest to that. I was talking to my girlfriend today, and I won't say her name or her beliefs. She was Jewish, but she was
Got the
telling me
tism.
today that she's got the tism too. We all got the tism. I got that tism hard. But pause. Um, but she was telling me how they were talking about a lady walked in to whatever business she's in, and she was talking to another lady about IVF, I believe.
Hmm.
And I
Uh-huh.
think it's something that Trump is going real hard on. And I think the lady, my girlfriend's coworker, told her, "Hey, that lady spent $10,000 on her IVF or whatever." And she's like, my girlfriend was like, "I'm so proud of her. I want to give her a little knucklehead." She was like, she should have waited until Trump got in, and she could have got that for free. And I didn't even know that when she caught me off guard. And I was like, oh man, on the other side of the phone, right? And so it started this whole, debate in the office. And not even a debate. She told me that they were all pretty much Trump. So
Mm.
um, that's pretty freaking cool, and it just takes a little spark, and it's like you said, the thing she was telling me, it's they were all figuring out, it's all why, why is this, why is that, and it's
Hmm.
again, it does help to ask these open questions so they can make up their own mind. Nobody's force feeding them nothing. They're just saying, why do my pockets hurt? Why can't I not go on that trip that I wanted to? Why, it's crazy. It's people are
Hmm.
waking up. I do think people are waking up.
Yeah, that whole that whole IVF thing. It's all connected to the abortion stuff, and there's it's one of
Dude.
those things where it gets dicey for
Look,
some people. You know what I mean? It's hard to, you can't make everybody happy. It's weird. not to downplay abortion or anything, but it's one of those things where it's hard to get. It's gonna be hard to get everybody to agree on that.
Yeah. But what is it? What's IVF? I thought that was just for if you can't have kids.
No, that's like when you freeze your eggs
Oh,
They
and
do
the sperm,
a
basically,
procedure
right?
where they
so they're
um
helping you out have kids.
But
yeah.
kind of like you're like if you're waiting or you on down the
Mm.
line, so you don't
So what
risk
would
of
they be mad
losing
at
that.
that? We're Frankenstein kids? Are these Frankenstein
No,
kids?
I think
Are we
it's
splitting the
because
soul?
they, if I'm not mistaken, it's um it it actually takes the sperm, puts it in the egg, and then they freeze it,
Mm.
and then it's not just one, it's like a few. So it's like kind of one of those things where like
Oh no!
if you don't use all of them,
You better use all of them, brother.
you're you know what I mean. So it's one of those
Oh
things where
no!
it's like it's it's a
Yeah, yeah.
little it's a little
Mm. I'm not gonna go ahead with the last three.
yeah,
You go ahead, toss those out. Okay,
but
okay.
it's you know like I said, it's one of those things. I don't know. What do you think,
So
Danny?
do so do you think Trump is saying that because that's the most minimalistic thing you could get to like abortion? Is that he's got to reach for those type of votes? Is that what you think, or why would he go for that? What does he benefit off of IVF?
To be honest with you, I don't even know what he said about that. What did he say about that?
He said that basically that it should be more accessible. And I think something about the government or insurance should should
Afford coverage for it?
yeah, basically. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, then based on what you both said right now, it's bringing more life into this world. So we obviously know that the other side is trying to do the opposite. So yeah,
What Daniel said does make sense. If you if you are keeping a couple eggs and you're not using them, and then you get rid of them, all right. I can kind of see where they're going there. But the argument that I kind of saw it was, sometimes the people that can't have, kids, they go ahead and do that, but they have to pay, right? Like that lady paid $10,000 and it doesn't work,
Mm.
so they got to drop another $10,000, and I think it's for the people that are infertile, and I think I don't know. Has any other president spoken about infertility? Which is, I mean, he's got RFK.
Yeah.
He's big on that. So,
well then we start going into a whole other spin right
oh
here or other
man, brother, we
direction
could
because
freaking go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
so if that's the direction that we're heading, one of the things that I had seen a long time ago is how bad the seed oil is
Mm-hmm.
uh, for the human body. Period. That's the best way that I can put it. So they compare it to putting motor oil into your body. That's how bad this seed oil is, and they make everything
Oh yeah,
with it.
everything.
And
It was
they,
literally a lubricant
yeah,
for
exactly.
motors.
That's the perfect way to put it. We're putting lubricant in our bodies.
Pause.
So
Pause.
so that's if we're going in that direction, then we're talking about health and what the FDA is approving
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that that is deemed not harmful for us, but it actually is harmful for. So RFK, I saw this clip where he was actually talking about exactly that. And there's a lot of things that we can attribute to bad health, for what, we're in the 21st century, all of the 21st century,
Mm-hmm.
and then the latter part of the 20th century. They've been putting additives and all kinds of crazy shit in our food that make us sick.
Mm-hmm.
So that be- and some of that makes people unfertile, whether it's
Yep.
females or males. So
Mm-hmm.
now you have people that actually want to have kids, and for whatever reason, whether it's the food that they ate or the um, medication that they took, so that they wouldn't be fertile, are having a hard time, having kids now.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of attention being brought to that.
So
So
do you think, I'm just speculating, right? You think Trump is really that dope that he realizes how much seed oil has messed us up and how much responsibility, the states or, whatever modern America is for introducing these seed oils to us, right? I
Mm-hmm.
think all these disease, like sicknesses and being overweight started in the early 1900s or something like that. And before that, it's the graphs show it's at the exact same point where seed oils are introduced. So
mhm.
it is crazy, and it
No,
is,
I think
yeah.
I think I would say yeah. I think Trump's aware of that.
But wouldn't you expect for someone, even if they're, well, he wasn't technically a politician, but let's just say someone of high influence in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually goes, wait a minute, I have generations of family to come, and he actually seems to be pretty prideful, right? He's a he's good at marketing. He loves slapping Trump in gold letters wherever he can. um he's gonna be like, I'm in my 70s. I'm gonna go pretty soon, but I've got kids and I've got grandkids and great grandkids, and generations are gonna come. You don't think that someone at some point would go, well, what what's gonna happen if we allow this to happen, continue to happen? Is that bloodline's gonna end sometime,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, you see him just being unhealthier and unhealthier, and then to find out that they're doing it on purpose. Let's just play that out. We're three powerful um individuals in this world, and we got countless resources, and if we wanted to run for president, we would be able to win. And you knew the truth about that, would you say something? I mean, how many what's the percentage of people that would actually say something?
Mm. Well, not a lot because a lot of
A
people
lot of them don't.
don't even talk about it, and they
Or
should
if
be,
they
right?
do, then they get Epstein.
Well,
I
that's
don't
the
know if we can
thing
say
too.
that.
Wasn't Michelle's whole thing while Barack was in there? While Barack Hussein Obama, have you heard of him? While he was in there, her thing was health, right, for kids at schools.
Hmm.
Um,
The
I'm
lunches,
sh-
I
I,
remember.
I
She
don't
was
remember
the
here. Yeah,
lunch czar.
yeah. I don't remember here talking about seed oils, processed food. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-mm.
I don't know. Maybe she did. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. But if she was, I would imagine it'd be all over the place about, you know.
Bro, I had pizza at lunch.
Hmm.
Pretty sure there's some type of oil in there. It's that's out of high school. You
No,
know.
my
Dude, I'll
recommendation to
tell you
everybody
guys.
is use beef tallow.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you this story. I think I've told it before. Look, my dad tells me that when he got here, early 70s, they would eat steaks, eggs, tortillas, soda, drank beer as much as they wanted. They cooked their food in lard, okay?
Hmm.
And he would go to a carnival, and in the crowd, if he saw someone that was overweight, that was an anomaly,
Hmm.
okay?
Hmm.
Now we're more advanced, supposedly. Now it's the opposite. You go to a carnival, and it's the other way around. And you know what the messed up part is? It's that it's not even the people's fault.
Hmm.
It's the food that is being
I'm
approved.
gonna stop you right there. 500 plus, that's your fault. I'm gonna stop you right there, Danny. 500, that's your fault.
Hey, but check
Continue.
this out. Let me throw
I
a
hear
spin
you.
on
I
that.
hear you.
No,
I
no, no,
hear you.
no.
You gotta
I
stop. You gotta
let me
stop.
throw a spin on this.
One
but
grape
is
soda is
it?
all I let myself do.
But is it that
No, you're
maybe
right. No, you're
you
right. You're
gained
right.
a few pounds, right? And you become a little bit depressed, right? And
Hmm.
you've tried everything, to get healthy, and you just can't do it. And it turns your depression, starts spiraling, and you start getting worse. So the only thing that you could do to cope with is just continue doing what you're doing and probably eat your feelings away, and you just make it worse. So therefore, what you talked about at the end of it, root cause, it's still the problem.
Hmm.
Brother, you give me some crack, I'm gonna want some more crack in a little bit. You know, and I'm sad. Sorry to our Texas listeners. We know you little soft ears, but we like to joke around. We like to joke around over here. Okay, California. Yeah,
No, but
man.
no. That's why the whole RFK thing, like, that's why I like it, because I know he talks about that stuff, and you know, he doesn't. From what I get from him, I don't get that he trusts the FDA. So, and there's a lot of
I
people
think
that
he
don't.
says straight up that
Yeah, that's.
it's
I
a
mean,
corrupt agency.
He
after
shouldn't trust any agency after getting shot. You know, they
a-
all
af-
let him down. Any alphabet 3-letter agency, get him out. Get him
yeah.
out. Starting with teacher unions.
No, I mean, after COVID, I don't see how anybody could trust the FDA, CDC, any of them. How could you? You know,
Mm.
because not even talking about infertility, supposedly that also, the quote unquote cure also
Mhm.
hurt people in being able to reproduce.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I
you
don't
know,
know. We've talked about Gates' speeches and everything. I mean, there's all one common theme:
mm-hmm.
population control. Hey, oh, check this out. Not to switch up the convo too much, but I watched the movie that I really didn't want to watch, but I got outvoted, so I had to watch it anyways. It's Twister. Remember Twister?
Climate
Oh,
change.
bro, good old Oklahoma movie. You don't want to watch a good old. I'm wearing the blue collar shirt for the blue collar comedy, dude. Come on, you got like a little Twister movie, dude. Come on.
Have you guys seen the new Twister movie then?
No,
I
no,
haven't seen
no,
the old one, dog.
This guy.
no.
Okay,
I
so
heard the
check this
album
out.
was great.
And this is how they drop their signals and start setting up their agendas, right?
No,
Their
no
messaging.
way.
Is that um so the theme of this one is that they're trying to um put this powder in the middle of the tornado so it sucks it up, right, and it takes it up in the sky with it, and then it kills the tornado. That's what they're trying to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're able to do that. Whatever this powder is goes up on the tornado, but it doesn't slow its momentum down or stop it, right? Which is the goal, right? So guess what someone suggests in the movie is like,
Nuke
oh,
that
you got
shit.
the great idea, huh?
Nuke that shit.
uh,
Block the sun.
close, close,
Get
close,
vaccinated.
close. So
Oh
they
God.
go, they've been cloud seeding and it's been producing more moisture. So let's put some ion oxid, what
Mon- what is that?
I it's like aluminum.
Mm-hmm.
Iodine? No.
Google it or something, but it's
Brother. You're spoiling
but
the
Shit up,
movie for me,
Jamie.
brother.
aluminum iodide or something like that.
Uh,
So guess what? So now they got the powder, and then they've got the aluminum iodide. Or Daniel's
obviously.
gonna look it up right now.
Obviously. The
So
aluminum
now they
iodine.
told us, they let us know that they've been cloud seeding, which was chemtrailing, but that was never happening. It's a
Talking
conspiracy theory.
NORAD over here?
But now, you know, they're bringing it up in the movie, and guess what happens to the tornado when they add that chemical is it kills the tornado.
It makes the frogs
Mm.
gay.
I'm sure it does too. No,
So
wait, that's go ahead.
no, no, no.
So the moral of the story is that's how they admit things that they have been doing that were once conspiracy theories, and let us know that it's actually a good thing now. Now we can accept it, you guys. Now it's not a bad thing.
Is it
It was didn't.
silver iodide?
There you go.
Okay. Silver iodide.
Nice.
So now that they've got silver iodide, which is used for cloud seeding, aka chemtrailing, um, now because the movie said that it's been used and it's of good use, it's okay, guys.
Hmm. It says in the movie Twister, the main character uses a chemical mixture to stop a tornado by seeding clouds with silver iodide to create rain and then using sodium polyacrylate. I don't know if I said that right. Sorry. I didn't go to school.
Obviously.
To absorb the moisture and choke out the tornado.
Yeah.
So it says, however, some
So you
say
heard it, chat. Get some silver alkazambrite and some arsenicanide. Obviously, get it.
says however, some say that in real life it would be physically impossible to make a meaningful.
Then I like it. It's a good movie. It's like Bigfoot. It's cool.
Dude, I fell asleep like 6 times, but you guys could be a judge for
Nah,
yourself.
dude. I saw that thing. You're like, nah, that's probably gonna be a whole climate change fucking commercial
No, it actually was a commercial for cloud seeding.
for fucking chemtrails.
Yeah. Weather control, weather
Mm.
manipulation. But that's a conspiracy theory, you guys.
Yeah, that don't happen. What are you talking about? But yeah, man. I mean, it's a lot of shit, right? That ends up being conspiracy theories, conspiracy
The
facts,
truth.
the truth.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
Can I tell you guys something that I've been kind of bouncing around in my head a little bit?
What's up?
Um,
You're gonna protest vote.
hmm? I'm gonna throw my vote away.
You're gonna throw your vote away.
So this gets a little bit more into the religious, spiritual side of things, right?
Mhm.
And and I don't know if you guys have thought about this in this form, but um, and it has to do with abortion
Mhm.
and some of the gods that in ancient times and even in these times, I guess I don't know if it still happens and stuff like that, but um, they child sacrifice was part of the beliefs
Mhm.
for certain gods like Moloch and stuff like that, right? And you know how we were talking about some people nowadays, if back 2000 years ago people were of the belief that um they were demon possessed, and we see crazy shit that people are doing that seems like they're demon possessed.
Mhm.
um it's kind of crazy that you hear about conspiracy theories of child abuse and rituals and stuff like that, and then you start thinking about abortion and at the rate that it happens.
Mhm.
And I don't know, just a thought popped in my head, and it's like, holy shit, this is like, some sick, demented people is, like a child sacrifice, man. It's like, giving up your, sacrificing your child, and you don't even know it, and
Mhm.
the people that are endorsing this or making it seem like it's, for women's health benefits and stuff like that. Like if they haven't thought about that, and I know they're being told that it's not a human being, but holy smokes, man! It to
Yeah,
me that's really deep. I don't know if you guys have ever thought about it like
yeah.
that.
I mean, I was thinking about it the other day. I saw something that said, you know, um, I was looking into Native Americans, and it said that when Christopher Columbus first pulled up, you know, one of the first things he saw was all the sacrifices that I think is the Aztecs did, and a lot of them had to do with children. So, and it's crazy to think that right now in these days it's woke to say, no, we can't call it Christopher Columbus Day, right? And it's coming up, I think in October. Um, we can't call it Christopher Columbus Day, right? Let's call it Indigenous Day, knowing that they, sacrificed their own children, on certain days because, I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. It is evil. It is evil. It talks about, certain groups of people that would do that in the Bible. And
Hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
crazy to say that it's happening today, still happening today.
Mm-hmm.
And in many
What
forms.
was that?
You don't
What
have
was
to
that one
physically kill your
story
kid.
where what was it? The Assyrians came in and basically made combined five nations, right, into one, and there was it was so bad. There was famine and there was all kinds of crazy things happening, and one lady convinced another lady to eat their child and promised that they would do the same thing to her child, you know, next. And once you convinced her, they did it. And then when it was up coming up, to the other lady's turn, she backed out. But that's just to kind of explain, the crazy things that have happened throughout this world's history.
Mm-hmm.
And if we step back and look at things like that, because I think, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, when you're living in present time and things are happening, it's hard to identify and put it into context, like what you're living through. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. It makes sense. I mean, it's oh man.
And I'm not
The
trying to make it like, we try to discern from logic and reason, common sense, being pragmatic, thinking about things.
mm-hmm.
But we always talk about, it's a battle between good and evil, right?
Mm-hmm.
And clearly the things that are being done right now are evil.
Yeah.
You read things from in history, and there's a lot of talk about beheadings, you know, um, crazy things like that happening. And now you're starting to see same things. You've been seeing things like beheadings, and almost to the point where, like, when I first heard about a beheading, uh, like, with the crazy stuff that's happening in Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
it was shocking. But now, you hear about it and it's not as shocking anymore.
Yeah. No, I think, the whole abortion thing, right? Hmm, it is a lot of evil, right? And it has happened throughout history. And then when you kind of look at it in today's terms, right? There's so many people that have just been, I guess you could say, manipulated, right, into thinking that that's the thing to do, right? That's the answer, right, to that, right? If you're not maybe ready or whatever it is, right? Um, you know, it goes, I think, to what we talked before about, not having God in your life, and then you choose other things to fill the void, and then, you know, having that mentality of not even, God is life. So if you
Yeah.
don't believe in God, you don't have God. Why do you, you wouldn't cherish life? So you think something like abortion is something as simple as, oh, just, yeah, women's rights,
Yeah.
you know? And it gets to the point where it's like, you know, how do you convince those people? Can you convince those people that what they're doing is wrong? Because I feel
You
like
know
if you
what?
tell someone that's all about that, you tell them abortion is murder. Do they just double down? You know what I mean?
Well, time time will answer that question because
Mm-hmm.
if you talk to a person now, let's just say that they're in their mid 20s or early 30s, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that because of the manipulation, the brainwashing, society making it okay, and God, number one, God being stripped away, that they're going to be defending it as a human right,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But
yeah.
as they
I
get
mean, you don't
older,
have
though,
to.
as they get older, is when you start going into 35, 40. Maybe you say that you're ready to have a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're having complications, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you've got life experience and you think about things a little bit differently. That's when that same person that was for abortion will be against abortion, at later time of in life.
Mm-hmm.
So it really depends,
Yeah.
you know. And we've talked about it too before, is that it comes to a certain time in life where you start realizing these things, but it's unfortunate because now you're more advanced in age, and you wish you would have had that same train of thought when you were a teenager, young adult, in your 20s
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. But that's exactly what they want is, okay, figure it out. But you're going to figure it out when you're 35.
Mm-hmm.
And by
Yeah.
that time, that's a half of a person's lifetime right there. Is like, and they'll gladly rob you from that. And you know what the messed up part about that is that that is going to alter your life and your generation's lives for that
Mm-hmm.
matter.
Mm-hmm.
And they're and I bet you that these demons are content with that. They're like, that's exactly what we want. Fuck it. You find out when you're 35, we're good with that. But we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna steal from 1 to 35 from you.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing where, like, where I've kind of been thinking is like, with that whole issue, and obviously it's a huge thing when it comes to people voting, and there's people that you know are make that a huge part of their decisions. It's tough because you know I don't want this to come out the wrong way, because I'm not that intelligent either, but um it just people it's hard to convince that 20-year-old, right? That all those 20-year-olds, or whatever range you want to put it, 18 to say 24, 25, that can vote and are all about that, and they know in their mind they're voting for a human right. It's like, what do you do? You know what I mean? Like, do you how can I put this? We talked we talked about it before, right? People that do that are, in a sense, sadly gonna abort themselves out of existence.
Hmm.
We've said that before. And it's like, do we win that that fight with abortion today? Is it possible? I guess is what I'm trying to ask. Is it possible to win it today with the people, the young people, how they've been manipulated? Or
Hmm.
is it something that, you know, as they get older, like you said, in maybe a generation from now,
Yeah,
it's
but those generations coming up are going to still be of the same belief. And I
yeah.
think to answer your question is the morals in this nation have to change.
Mm-hmm.
Someone has to come up. Someone made a good case. Oh, Candace Owens
Mm-hmm.
is making a great case about pornography. If I can make it illegal,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you make that illegal, and look, I'm not saying illegal like to ban it or something like that, but it's it's too easy to access. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and we see little kids that know how to maneuver and use a phone super easy. Everything's at our fingertips. So
Mm-hmm.
can you imagine um, young kids? Like I don't know how this would work, but we didn't have this technology when we were kids. But I guess you would equate it to a Playboy magazine when we were kids. It's like how accessible was that? It wasn't very accessible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you had to be a certain age to purchase it, right? But
Mm-hmm.
then you can go online and it doesn't matter what freaking age you are, you can find something like that. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, have some restrictions there, and they knew and understood how serious it was and how it affected people, boys, if they started thinking about those things early on. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, until we get our morals right in this country, we'll get back to that.
Mm-hmm.
And God starts coming back. And they're doing, what made me think about the sacrificing and tying it together with abortion
Mm-hmm.
is the DNC, man. Is that when I saw that the DNC, and I don't even
Mm-hmm.
know how true this is, man,
That they had
is that
25.
um that weren't they offering abortions there? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
is that legit? Is that
Vasectomies,
true?
Yeah,
abortions and vasectomies.
I saw one story that said that I think the first day the number they had was 25 that they did.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
So that's when I started that's kind of like what triggered that thought is that they've got this big old production, the DNC. You're going up there, you're supporting these people that are evil,
Mm-hmm.
right? And um, then they're offering free abortions. Dude, I was freaking like mind blown. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, what kind of crap is happening here?
Yeah. You know,
You,
and
you Christian, you could go back to the freaking Aztecs right there.
mm-hmm.
Is that here's their pyramid? This is their celebration. We got
Go
the
to that
sacrifices
trailer.
over there on under that tent in that
Mm-hmm.
trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it gets to the point, right? Well, it's sad to say, and not that I'm saying it's okay or whatnot, but they are gonna abort themselves out of existence. They are gonna get vasectomies and shit. They're not gonna have kids. So people that are pro life and are having kids, well, eventually we're gonna really outnumber them. And then obviously as a parent, then you raise your kids, your sons, your daughters to be responsible, to not even have that thought of that even being an option. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then yeah, I think this is gonna take a generation or two to get fixed, because if they keep going down that path where they're all about it and they're doing it, it's like, well, yeah, eventually they're gonna be outnumbered. So
You know,
and not that those lives don't matter. I'm not saying that. It's just that's just kind of the paths that we're on. You know what I mean? That's in a sense the reality of what that's going to lead to. Because as much as we would want to stop every abortion, it's like, well, right now we're not in the moment where that's going to happen. Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah,
So,
yeah, and that's a huge divisive topic because look, listen, this to the days that Jesus Christ walked this earth
hmm
and before, that has been an issue. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And um it hasn't been easy in those times. You could probably say you can make an argument that it was worse at some point, right? But at the rate that it's happening now, we're pretty good competition with it, history right now as far as
hmm
numbers wise, you know, and with the abortions that are happening. So,
Well,
it,
it makes me think, sometimes these people, they don't even,
but they don't
an
think about it
abortion is
that
one
way.
thing, right? But they don't, you can still sacrifice your kid being alive. You can sacrifice them to an ideology for them to follow, and you're being their mentor, and they're going to follow everything you do, right? And that's what's happening. How is it possible? Is it Angelina Jolie or that other lady that has three trans kids? Like, what are the odds, dude? What are the odds? That's a sacrifice. You sacrifice the well being of your kids, and they're alive, you
Remember what
know?
we were saying? Mental health? That's like mental abuse. They should be arrested for that.
Yeah.
hmm
It's like what, like you said, what is going on in that household that three of them, you know, it, uh, that's rough.
Who's
There's a,
going around that household and going, it's really cool. It's really cool if you chop off your penis,
yeah, if you
and you
mutilate
get
your body.
a man coochie.
Hey, but check this out. We were talking about, the steps that have to happen in order for people to reject themselves and
Ozempic.
and start accepting alternate realities, right?
hmm
And first you start denying who you are, right? Then you start changing your appearance, and then you start changing your body, mutilating your body. And I think once you get to that stage is now you're ready to accept whatever society tells you that is right and what the next step is. And isn't it crazy that they call Christianity controlling? It's a system of control, but it tells you to love yourself the way that you are and be kind to other people and make it make sense. Which one is the cruel one?
hmm Yeah. No, I was just looking it up right now. It says, from what I found online, according to reputable NPR, um, there was over 1 million abortions in uh in the U.S. last year in 2023. It's crazy. That's what I'm saying. It's like so many people that are of that mindset. It's like, you know.
But you know, um, there's arguments that people make is like you are the way that you are because of everything around you, everything like as far as society goes.
hmm
It manipulates you, it alters the way that you are and the decisions that you make. So let's switch it. And what would you guys say if the morals were there, in in this nation, you know, for the 20, let's just talk about the 21st century, from year 2000 and up. What do you think those numbers would look like?
If the morals were there,
Yeah, if everybody, if society was promoting, Christian values,
mm, I would
morality.
say, I would say what? Probably 70 to 80% less than what we're seeing now. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, last time I looked it up, I think it's somewhere between 67 and 70% of the U.S. identifies Christian.
So look this up real quick. Is that how many women regret having an abortion? The percentage, and that'll be a good measure.
Okay. Great. The shit that pops up when you're trying to fill out, but it's trying to guess. It says, let's see. One study found that 44% of women voiced great regret about their decision to abort.
44, you said?
Hmm. And then it says, another study found 6% of women expressed primarily negative emotions 5 years after their abortion.
Uh, I heard six. Did you say 60 or?
Six. So another study said 6% in the after 5 years after their abortion, and then just
Mhm.
another study says 44% of women voiced regret about their decision to abort.
So even if it was 44, rounded up to 45%,
Hmm.
that's
But
what today's.
check this one out. But according to Congress.gov,
Mm-hmm.
by 5 years post abortion, the large majority of women, 84%, had either primarily positive emotions or no emotion whatsoever about their abortion decision. And
Of course they would
six,
say
this is where the 6% comes from Congress's website. And 6% express primarily negative emotions.
that. Yeah.
So,
Well, I think it's safe to say not to trust their poll.
oh no.
But and that's with today's society. But let's say if it was like, you know, Christian values, morals, if that society existed right now, damn, I think you're pretty. I would agree with you that you'd see 80% less, but that's
Yeah.
just my opinion.
There's another study, but it's from 2023. It says 60% of women regret their decision to abort. 60% reported that they would have preferred to give birth if they had received more support from others and had more financial security. So, I don't know. It's a what do you call it? It's a tough topic, right? To
Yeah.
navigate, as far as, you know, we know what we would prefer it to be, but it's wild. It's wild
Yeah.
what people with no morals and all that, where they're at. And
And I guess to the question that you were asking earlier is what I'm saying is I don't think that there's a conversation anybody could have with someone to convince them at a younger stage in their life.
mhm,
The only thing that would do it is if, like I said, if morally this nation or this world um, was closer to
Hmm.
God, to Jesus Christ.
Yep.
I think that's the only solution, man.
And if you have that, parents are going to be the biggest influence, right? Because that should come from the parents instilled to their kids, and there you go.
Yep.
Shit.
So yeah, that's a tough one. But people want to fix that like right now. Like, if they vote for X, you know, they're the ones that are gonna fix it. And it's like,
Or I won't vote for X if he doesn't 100% stop it. And it's like, well, how do you? You're asking for, again, not that that's not what we want. It's just you're asking for something where, how do you do it? If you can't even have the conversation with somebody, you know what I mean? We can't have
yeah,
we can't have this conversation with someone that's so pro abortion. They wouldn't be calm about it. You know what I mean?
you know,
So how do you, it's one of those things.
yeah, it's definitely tough. I don't know. I mean, do you guys see another way or another solution? Shut
You
down
know,
the clinics. That's a solution,
yeah,
right?
I mean, yeah, yeah. But it's like, how do you get, you have to get enough, you got to get enough people in there to be able to do that. And it's like, how do you do it when you have all these other people still? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or
Like if
another
the
one
DNC
someone
did
else
it.
could say is stop the funding right now for
Hmm.
that. Another
Yeah,
solution.
yeah,
But then we have to get the right people in place.
yeah. So I
Man.
think I think people just gotta. It's tough. You gotta make the best choice, right? And I don't know. You can't. We're not. When it comes to that, we're not gonna get it all at once. That's for sure. So people
Yeah.
have to, I think, kind of. Ex- Sucks to say, but no, I don't know if accept that is the right way, but they kind of have to deal with it for now. If that's a better way to put it, I don't know.
Well, here's
Well,
another thought. Oh, go ahead.
no, well, I just wanted to quickly mention that I actually read The Handmaid's Tale, and everything you guys are talking about is going to lead us down a path of destruction. So, but carry on. Tell me more.
Stupid.
Hey, that's that show, right? That's that
Yeah, that's a
show.
I
show.
don't
I
know, dude.
think
I've never read it. I just know people get scared and say
it's a show.
yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, so I know very little about the show, but it's elites that have I guess certain women can have babies,
Hmm.
and then they have
Trans women.
these women that have the babies for them.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Mm,
Something like that. And I think
IVF.
The government. I
I
don't know.
think they're basically like forced to have them. No, I think that's the
Yeah, like
whole.
Mm,
slaves.
Yeah, that's the whole
damn.
thing with that. But you know, that's going to an extreme that doesn't exist. And
Maybe that's their sick fantasy.
yeah, that's the extreme that they base their
Yeah.
their decision on. And it's just the manipulation, right? Through media, through shows, through books, through the DNC. So that's crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring it to this side of the
No, dude, it's good.
thing.
No,
But
because
it just caught my attention, man. It's like DNC, these leaders for
mhm.
the left, and then it's like bam, and you get abortions, and the are these abortions happening at the same time that they're giving their speeches, or after their speeches, before their
Probably at
speeches?
the same time.
Dude, that's so creepy to me. I don't. Uh,
It's crazy. Stop supporting the DNC, people.
Goodness gracious.
I don't know what else to say. DNC.
Yeah, but what else? What else you guys got on your mind? I just had that bouncing around in my head.
Mm,
No, I was, you know what? Honestly, I was thinking about that the other day too, and kind of just the thought that basically what I said. It's like, how do you convince, you know, people that are so all about it. You know what I mean? How do you win them over? It's tough. It's I was kind of thinking about that the other day. So,
Hey, going back to this person's comment that what is it? The world is a mess, and I don't see how it's gonna get fixed. It's gonna be like this until God intervenes. So this is another thing that's been bouncing around my head is that do you guys think that God is showing us how bad it can be so that it leads us back to Him?
mm,
Because you know that that's a cycle, right?
mm-hmm,
It's like, in the Bible, there's there's kings that are really bad, but then they'll have a son that a king is good, right?
mm-hmm,
And in then people fall away again when it's good, and then they come back, and it seems to be
mm-hmm,
a cycle of just human beings and their faith.
mm-hmm,
And I don't know, it's this flesh that makes people weak, I
mm-hmm.
guess.
No,
And
I
I don't know
think.
if that saying where it comes where you know good times uh, make weak men and hard times make strong men, or something to that effect.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, I think, yeah, it gets to a point where you know God gave us free will, right, to make the decisions we're gonna make, and I think eventually, so many bad decisions, you start to see what's going on, right? Oh, this ain't right, and maybe people themselves start correcting, you know, by seeing that there's so much evil or so much wrong that you kind of have to, you know what I mean? So I don't know, that kind of makes sense.
Hmm.
But
What do you think, Christian? Or is it
Shoot,
just
man.
fucked? It's just
No,
messed up. We're done.
no.
And
I think people do have to turn to God. I think there should be a great awakening, and it's happened in history. I think it has been called the Great Awakening. So yeah, I do think it's time to turn to God more than ever. We've lost our way, and it happens from time to time again. The Bible just it's all stories about how the Israelites lost their way, and God still gave them a chance, still gave them the opportunity to come back, and not only did that, but offered the rest of us, the Gentiles, you and me, our gods were the sun and all that, right? Now, by the grace of God, we have Christ. Christ is King. Christ is King. That's all that matters, dude. We got to go back. You got to go back, and like you said, you kind of Elon touches on this. You got to populate the world with the people that believe like you. Right?
we're
If
waiting for
not,
you,
it's
bro.
gonna be more like them.
We're waiting for
Waiting for
you.
me, shit, dude. I'm waiting
Shit.
for this IVF, brother. I'm gonna get real greedy, brother. I'm gonna have blue eyes. My kid's gonna be 6'5", wingspan like Michael Phelps, torso like, oh brother, believe me, dude, I'm gonna have a little Frankenchild. He's gonna be sick. He's gonna carry me on his shoulders. That's all I'm
Man.
saying.
Nah, but
Play
you
with
know,
me, government sponsored,
you're crazy.
brother. I'm just waiting for that surgery with the legs to get a little better. I'll give up running for 2 feet. Shit, I don't gotta run no more.
oh my gosh.
God, that's a good one. But now, man, I mean, I think that's all I got for right now. It was you know, it's been a crazy month.
Yeah,
But
there's been a lot of crazy shit happening.
hmm
But I just can't wait. I got a box of fireworks for November.
2 months. We're 2 months away, people. Show up. Go vote. Vote for your
To
local people. Pay attention to
Yeah.
that. School board. Last month we had the three candidates from Redlands. You know, check them out.
Shout out. Shout
We
out.
had it's just we had Nick Wilson. Recently. Peter. We had Peter. Those are good people that are trying to make a positive change, right? And we're 2 months away, and it's like, we gotta do what we can to hopefully help those people either get noticed more, you know what I mean, or whatever we can do to help, because we need them. We need good people, genuine people that are representing us, and man, there's can't do it if we don't show up.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that they need to feel the support too, man. They're human beings just like us. Like
Mm-hmm.
if we have a crappy day, we'll get down on ourselves and stuff like that, and kind of mope around for a little bit
Mm-hmm.
until we get over it. But these people, what they do, I really do believe that it weighs heavy on them. It's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of criticism that goes along with it. There's a lot of criticism for trying to do the right thing and say the right things, which is crazy to think about.
Mm-hmm.
But you start talking about God, and people talk bad about you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I do is I pray that they have the strength, to keep pushing forward. Because if you think about it, it's a long time to continue that fight. Like how do you continue to be motivated?
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine? Wouldn't you get tired of pushing, trying to? It's kind of like what you said, Daniel. Is like trying to convince that one person, that one girl or lady or woman, you know, convince her not to have an abortion or believe in abortion and stuff like that. It's like it feels like almost impossible that you're gonna get through to them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't know. It sounds cheesy, corny, or whatever you want to call it, but I think that they have a tough job
Mm-hmm.
mentally, psychologically, like to keep pushing forward. I
Mm-hmm.
honestly do.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
can you
and
imagine getting as much shit as Trump got? Like, who in their right mind would continue to deal with that?
only a fighter. So, you know, but
Remember, guys, we'll end with this. If you're not voting for Trump, you're voting for Tampon Tim. Ask yourself.
and check out our website leadunite.com. If you go there, you'll see there's a link there to register to vote. It'll take you to Vote for America's page, and right there you can either register or find out if you are registered to vote. So we're 2 months out. We say check that, get squared away, and show up and vote. Like I said, it says Vote for America, but also vote for your family, because that's who you're doing it for. So, with that being said, that's all I got.
That's it.
Peace
Peace
be
be
with
with
you.
I was kidding. You guys can vote for Tim if you want to. Whatever.